everyone. My name is Rahul Tyagi. I'm the technical advisor to FAIR Institute. Many of you might have heard about us. Many of you may not. So I'll be taking this stage to introduce to you one of the most transparent model when it comes to risk analysis and risk quantification. Now, I will not take much of your time, don't worry. I know that we have to wait for the other segments. But just to make you understand what FAIR do basically. So FAIR started in 2010-11. It has 16,000 plus risk practitioners. When I say risk practitioners, I'm talking about risk management professionals, not cyber security professionals who are very technical. Whenever you want to convert your risk into something which you can convey to your senior management, then FAIR comes to play. For example, if you're a CISO and your board wants to know that last 1 year you have taken so many cyber security products and you have implemented so many programs, and along with that, you have hired so many people in the company to reduce the overall risk. So can you tell me, whatever the investments you have taken from us, what is the ROI of that investment when it comes to showing us what is the risk reduction you have done as compared to last year? Now, that's a very fundamental question, usually which becomes very, very subjective in nature, plain English, but there is no mathematical calculations behind the scene which you can show to the management. So, in terms of some standard definition, it's a model that enables risk to be quantitative, defined, measured, and managed and communicated. So from L1 to L7, everyone speaks the same language when it comes to cyber risk management. So in terms of FAIR, as I told you, 16,000 members, more than 50 plus countries, everyone is using it. And just to give you one example, this standard is being used by the entire country of Jordan. And they are in their entire country cybersecurity policy, they have implemented this model to quantify the risk for the entire country cybersecurity framework. Along with that, Netflix, for example, Netflix uses this model to predict what is the probability of a breach of a new season or a new movie which is coming in the public domain before the release. There are a lot of research papers and partners which are associated with FAIR Institute from many years, and we'll be sharing this presentation at the end of the day so that DSCI will help you to go through it again. So I will not take you much into that. When it comes to the partner ecosystem, these are the partners of FAIR Institute, which plays a very, very important role in terms of building a community which talks risk into a very, very different manner. India is a very compliance-heavy country, you know. And if I have to ask you if tomorrow SEBI or RBI will say that we will not audit you, what will be the way you will want to see the risk? Majority of us will be like, cool. 80% of time of us today going in terms of taking care of regulatory requirements. Most of the CISOs don't have time to look at the risk into a risk manner rather than the compliance manner. And that's where the FAIR comes to play, where 80% of your efforts will go only on the 20% of the things which matters to the company, rather the false positive which you are facing. In case you want to understand what is cyber risk quantification, recently we published one very, very 1 hour detailed, not so boring podcast, which you will see. It's full of examples, dissected. We planned it for 30 minutes, but the topic was so wide, it went to 1 hour, 5 minutes. I'm sure you will like it. Just Google it and you will be able to find it. So go through it by tonight, have some popcorns. I'm sure it will give you a worth of your time. And once you do that, then you can adopt the certification also. DSCI and FAIR has a mutual collaboration where in India, we are providing this certification for everyone in the country. And especially for the senior professionals who want to, this is the only certification which will teach you the language which you can talk to the board. And if you're at a manager level or a CISO level and you don't have any way to convey a risk into a dollar value or rupees value, which senior management will understand, you cannot go to board members and say, we have these many CVE numbers. They don't understand CVE numbers, maybe, but it's a difficult challenge to do that. So we have a booth. Tomorrow you can come to our booth. And today and tomorrow, everyone who will register for it, they will get 30% discount on the certification. The pricing of the certification is around 75,000 rupees per certification. You get a 30% discount on that. Now, today I am going to talk about one new model which FAIR is launching, and it will be by next year most probably, but we'll give you a little bit of glimpse of that. Third party is the biggest problem today, and if you see in the past, third party supply chain risk has become the #1 priority for the community to fix. Because mostly we have always an assumption that if they got hacked, we have nothing to do with it. But normally in these examples, what we have seen, it not only created a chaos in terms of risk community, but it affected the business very, very clearly. My request to you is just go to this website. It's known as howmaterialisthishack.org. This website have bifurcated that whenever there is a supply chain or any hack happened, what was the financial hit was on the company of the first party company because of their third party. All the mathematical calculations, those who love maths, this is kind of a gold standard visibility of the risk to them when it comes to breach analysis with respect to their materiality. In 2014, if I have to talk about the stats, services industry is one of the top industry which got affected with respect to supply chain risk or third party, followed by other. But the most interesting part about this research which FAIR did is this. There are the biggest, usually we say that third parties can be breached by the nation state actors, but truly third party are being breached by cyber criminals, maybe hired by the state sponsored, we don't know, but that's the term which usually being projected in the market. But cyber criminals who have a motive of profit, gaining certain information from them, and how they get the information, they want to do the data exfiltration from the company and then blackmail you and so forth, that, right? So if my third party got breached, who is handling my certain sensitive information, when they got breached, then they are not going to tell the company to pay us, they will be telling their customers to pay us because they got the information from their customers also. And further, the most important thing which I think you should take a screenshot of that, in your organization, there are so many controls which you have to pay attention. But out of our research, what we come up is these are the top 10 controls which you have to pay attention and mature when it comes to protect your organization from supply chain. Out of almost last 5 years hacks which we have did the analysis of that, out of those hacks, first party and third party both, these are the controls which were into the radar of the hackers when they breach into any organization. And when it comes to top 80 attack vectors or techniques, these are the 5 techniques you need to take care of. If your SOC is flagging this, or any VAPT report is flagging these techniques or tactics, you have to pay attention because it may or may not be applicable to the third party risk also. So how we fix this problem? How we fix the traditional problem of TPRM? I'm sure you are having a lot of vendors giving TPRM and all, but one thing which you do not know, this is an open standard. Any company can, if they have the manpower, they can implement it with the developer and build their own models. But security companies can't do that. So that in your own company, you can have this model. It's open standard, but only for the companies who want to consume this model within the company. Now, we talked to many CISOs in the community. As I told you, 16,000 members. And after talking to them, these are the 5 problem statements which comes up when it comes to third-party risk management. The first problem is we do not know which third party to focus upon. I'll give one example. A retail company having more than 4,500 vendors under their portfolio, it is humanly impossible to onboard all 4,500 with respect to the money and with respect to other things also. So what they have done is they do not know what is the third party which we want to focus upon. Second is no automation and scale. Vendors, we want to reach vendors. Please tell me, can you share the ISO report? Can you tell me a SOC report? It takes ages to really get the data from the vendor and then do the assessment and take a call. This is not a risk problem. This is a business interruption also, because that third party will be a part of my ecosystem and then they will be able to help me to run certain things which for that third party is required in my business. Now, these are the 3 problem statements which will be solved with this model when it will come up. One is how you'll be able to see how many third parties I have and what I need to prioritize. And how you need to prioritize, once you know how you need to reduce the risk of that third party, and in the end, at the end of the, you will be able to see also that in after 1 year, how many third party risk I have reduced. I'm short of time, by the way, but I will take 2 minutes because of the extra they have given me. Now, what is the real question? There is one thing which I want to ask. Most of the security scoring which is happening right now in the industry is based on numbers. And if I have to ask you, on the left you have third-party vendors, and on the right there is scoring. More score is higher, that means you are safe. So if you have to prioritize the third party, which third party you will prioritize? First, second, third, or fourth? I'm short of time, guys. Which third party you will prioritize to fix first? Third? But as I told you, the low is your score, more vulnerable you are as per the standards today. First one, right? It's 60. Now, this is the traditional way of looking at the third parties. But now, which third party which you will prioritize now? Fourth one. Why? Because now you got the business context out of that. If this third party got breached, my business will get a hit of 47 crore rupees. Why? My people software have my PI information of my employees. Nobody cares about. But if Salesforce got hacked, my entire sales ecosystem will be exposed to the public, and then there is a business impact of that. Now imagine out of 4,500 all third parties, you will be able to see a dollar value or rupee value in front of each third party. You sort that, okay, any third party having a 100 crore business risk to my organization if they get breached, sort it and start working on that. That is what this model will provide you in terms of visibility. Now, last thing, which I will skip everything because my time is up, but last thing which I want to, okay, so how you can use Fair TAM when it will be launched with agentic AI. Like Anuj said very beautifully, 2014 you have seen iRobot and all. Agentic AI is a very important thing today. The biggest challenge in vendor risk assessment is chasing the vendors. And anyone who is assessing the third party, they have to go to ISO report, SOC report, read it, and then do it. It's a mess to be in. What we are able to achieve and recommend to the industry to use agentic AI in a way which really transforms the entire world when it comes to assessing the third-party risk management. I have a demo to play. I am not having the time right now, but I request everyone, please come to our booth tomorrow, and I will show you a demo which is really going to blow up your mind. And once this model is released, if you have a capability and a team in-house with AI and other things, you can develop this by your own. Last thing. One more thing, like Steve Jobs said, one thing. Airports, everyone loves airports. Everyone loves Steve Jobs. So I want you to scan this model, click a picture. There are 4 questions in terms of third-party risk management. We are proposing a new way of publishing a new third-party risk assessment report. And this survey of 4 questions only, MCQs, will help us to understand what community is looking at. And 1% out of that will win an airport. After 1 week, we will announce it on our LinkedIn channel. So in my 15 minutes and 15 and a half minutes, this is what all I have, guys. In case you have questions, please reach me, and I'll be here for tomorrow also. So thank you so much for your time, and have a good evening.